Welcome to Saturday Rough Cuts, you crazy kids. Coffee Doug here. Today, you could call me Yuengling Doug. This is a Yuengling traditional lager, and I got this in Columbus, Ohio last weekend when I went to HorrorHound weekend. It was the convention for HorrorHound magazine. That is a good beer. It really is a great beer. That's one of the best beers I found in a long time, and I had to buy like cases just to bring back. This is HorrorHound magazine, which I've shown people before. This is the latest issue right now, the March-April. It usually comes out every 2 months or so. That's obviously Johnny Depp and the Dark Shadows movie on the cover. What HorrorHound weekend was, or is, twice a year, normally, usually around April, March, April, or September, they put on a huge convention, sometimes in Indiana, sometimes in Ohio. I think that's about the only states they've done it in so far. It's just like any other convention you'd think of. They get a bunch of movie stars and writers, directors, artists, people, in this case, anybody doing anything with horror. So, this particular convention that my girlfriend and I went to, we left Thursday, got there Thursday night. I was there all day Friday when it basically opened up, Saturday, and a little bit of Sunday. But Saturday was the big day, Friday night was pretty cool. This particular one was a tribute to women in horror, which I'm fairly certain you can see all over that cover. We've got Elvira, who, by the way, looks amazing even still. She didn't dress up in that particular outfit that she's famous for, but she still looks pretty young, and she's long blonde hair, and you wouldn't even know it's her, really. Danielle Harris, Denise Crosby, Adrienne Barbeau, Pam Grier, all kinds of people were there. Now, I thought it was cool that they were doing such a tribute to women in horror, just to show how you always have the final girl in horror movies, and how it's so important, the female character, in almost every horror film. I didn't know what to expect out of the convention. There's obviously a lot of tables and stuff selling swag, selling junk. Some junk, some swag. I got a few cool things, such as koozies for my beer, Frankenstein, and Sleepaway Camp. I'm going to go ahead and put the Frankenstein on now. So remember that this is Yuengling traditional lager. I highly, highly recommend it. It's turned into a very popular beer around the Pennsylvania area. Apparently it's the oldest brewery in the United States. Alright, where am I at? Okay, so first off, the first day I go, usually I would be looking for tons of DVDs and stuff. This time, not so much. I've already got so much horror that I need to watch anyway. I just wanted to go for the experience. I was after some old back issues of HorrorHound and things like that. But the first thing I go to, the first desk I go to, I'm a little disappointed because the girl who played Nancy, Heather Langenkamp in Nightmare on Elm Street 1, was supposed to be there. That's who I was most excited to meet, and she backed out like 2 weeks before. I don't really care about meeting people. Like, I'm not going to wait in any lines. I don't really care about autographs. If they're just at the table and nobody's around them, I might walk up and say, "Hi, I like your work." It's cool talking to the writers and directors, sometimes artists and stuff too, more than the stars in my opinion. But just because they got so many people hounding them all the time and grilling them, they've heard every question, and all of them were very, very nice that I talked to. Norman Reedus was there from Walking Dead that plays Daryl Dixon. But they were all real nice, but, I can't imagine doing that every day. That would drive me insane. But this girl, Lisa Wilcox, from Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and 5. I'm sure many of you will remember. It was after Nancy. It was in Part 3, and they wanted to kind of change up the girl. So they had her. Came out around 1988, 1989. She's sitting at the desk. Still looks great, real cute girl. Very nice, very pleasant, was very talkative to me and my girlfriend. However, once it came time for the conversation to finish, I was like, I guess I kind of got to buy something at this table. So I go, "Well, what do you got?" And we're looking through pictures and stuff, and I see this DVD, Lisa Wilcox, The Ward Agency. And I go, "What's that DVD?" And she says, "Oh, that's just like a montage of some of my like clips and some of the best things I've done and little scenes here and there." Explained to me like that, who loves horror anthologies, and I love short stories, and who doesn't love a montage. I'm like, well, alright, cool, I'll support you. What does it cost? She was like, $20. I said, does that come with the picture? She goes, sure, I'll even sign it. So she gave me this $20 DVD that I spent my hard-earned cash on. She did sign it, and she did take a picture with me, which was cool. But this DVD, all this fucking is like, and I should have known what it was. All it is for her to give to talent agents, or it's like a demo tape. It's a demo reel, is all it is. And it's from like 1984. Like the scenes in this are from like Highway to Heaven or Touched by an Angel. She's playing a nun and trying to calm this guy down. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? As I'm watching it, I was really pissed when I put that in the hotel room. There were no cool horror scenes. There was even one from Nightmare on Elm Street, which is a great scene of her acting, I'll give her that, but it's not a cool scene from the movie, really, in any way. It was just showcasing how she could be dramatic. Very disappointed. Why wouldn't she know that a fan probably isn't going to want that? And I feel like she wasn't even selling those. I'm an idiot. I asked what those were. I think she was just going to give those to writers and directors for free. I bought it for $20. That's what I spent my first $20 on, and it took me 3 hours and literally 6 of these beers to get over that. Sorry, Lisa Wilcox, you're awesome. She was still a great girl, and support her movies. Just don't buy the damn demo reel. Some other stuff I got at HorrorHound was 2 back issues. One, the Resident Evil number 16 cover. For some reason, I can't find this online anywhere, so I was happy to find that for $8. And the 20 Greatest Horror, a cool little picture of Shaun of the Dead, Freddy, you know, Jigsaw, all them. I got that for $8, and those usually sell for a little more online. So they got a lot of back issues, people selling comics, DVDs. I kept myself from buying a lot of things because I just didn't want to go all crazy. I did get The Horror Movie Freak, which I've been excited about this book for a long time. The writer Don Sumner was there wearing a big cowboy hat, and he had a real country accent, and I don't know why that surprised the hell out of me, but that's not who I would have expected. While I'm on that point, just talking about people there, people were crazy. There were all kinds of people dressed up in all kinds of cool, wicked shit. Not as goth as you would think, just more outfits. People put in a lot of work. I saw one of the best Freddy Kruegers. He was in the costume contest, and he made the Final Four. That's such an old, classic costume. You figured if somebody dressed up as that, they're not going to win. But he was so good. He sounded good. He looked amazing. I mean, people go all out, and sometimes you're convinced that it's like Robert Englund or the person playing them. So, if you're not a huge horror movie fan, just going to see some of these crazy people is great. And people are weird. I sat in the Halloween panel, which was Rob Zombie's Danielle Harris, the Scout girl that played played Laurie Strode, or is that her name? Yeah. And Tyler Mane was there, the guy who played Michael Myers, and they just all did a discussion. Real cool panel, but every time somebody raised their hand to ask a question, man, there are some weird folks out there. They're just like, I don't get it. Like, I was almost embarrassed for some of the questions they were asking. They were so, and maybe they were just nervous and awkward. I don't know. I guess maybe I'd be like that if I were talking to them too, but I don't feel like I would be. Anyway, panels were cool. That was kind of fun. I did buy one other DVD, Dark Night of the Scarecrow. I have not seen this yet, but apparently it aired on CBS in the late 70s, and a lot of horror writers and directors quote this film. And, well, they say that it was an inspiration for them getting into horror. So I'm excited to see that. Now, one thing I had to get for Jay, he told me he wanted me to find a very independent, kind of low-budget horror film, not to spend a ton of cash, but to support some independent filmmaker. That was one of the cool things. I got to talk to all kinds of filmmakers. Some of them were like all jacked up, trying to tell me they were arrested for these films that they made, and this and that, and there was a lot of good stuff, a lot of crap too, where I'm like, oh, I do not think I could sit through that. I try to support everything, and even if I hate it, I try to find the good in it, but some of that stuff was a little much for me. But what I did find was a writer-director that had made the Puppet Monster Massacre, which he is just a local writer from Cincinnati, Dustin Mills, and he has made a few short horror films, but this one is over an hour. Hopefully you could see the puppets on that. He gave it to me in this nifty little bag, Puppet Monster bag. He gave me some pins, a few pins, Puppet Monster Massacre. And this is after days of searching, folks. I mean, like, a day and a half to 2 days. I'm going at every booth, taking hours, and trying to find stuff for myself, too. But, I wanted to find something fairly cool. And he gave me a poster, signed by him and his wife, who also helped make the movie and produce it and stuff. So, we will definitely be reviewing this film soon, the Puppet Monster Massacre. I would be very surprised if any of you have seen this or heard of it, because it was very local, very independent, and, oh, the one movie I did see, this review is more about the movie convention. I want you guys to try one out. The one review that I'll give just a little bit, like I said, this is the latest HorrorHound issue. Go to my nifty little HorrorHound bumper sticker. And there is a review about the movie Nailbiter. It is written and directed by Patrick Ray. That's all I need to look in the magazine for. He does horror anthologies and shorts like Tales from the Crypt, Creepshow, things like that. I haven't got to see any yet, but I've heard his name before, and people usually give him high praise. They showed his film, Nailbiter, which is about a mother and her 3 daughters. They're driving to the airport to pick up their father. A tornado is about to hit in, I think it's in Kansas or Missouri or somewhere like that. And they have to go to this old house and hide in the cellar to get away from the tornado. They get trapped in the cellar. They realize they're not alone in there, that there's something in there with them. Good flick. The ending left me wanting more, which is always great. Pretty cool. The one weird story about that is, as I was sitting in that movie, it ended, and I'm sitting there watching it, enjoying what I'm seeing. It's over, and I'm like, all right, I'm about to get up, and they say that the writer will be out in the convention, the writer-director, who I really wanted to meet, just to talk to him about that film, and I wanted to buy some short films from him. I thought he would have a table set up. Turns out he didn't, which really pisses me off now, because right after the movie ended, this guy, this big muscle-bound guy, like on steroids, jumps up and starts talking about this new 15-minute short film that's going to be shown right now, and people have been waiting for it the whole convention. And I'm like, what? How did I not hear about this? It's called Antibodies. I don't know what the deal is with this film. I don't know if it's like the second or third in a series or whatever. All of a sudden, literally like 25 to 30 half-naked chicks, drunk, come into the convention room and sit down. And then the other half is all dudes that look like they've like shot shit in their ass for the past 6 years. I mean, they're huge unnaturally. And I guess I don't know enough about working out, but I don't think that could be natural. So they all come in, they're loud as fuck, which could be fun. You're at a convention, I'm drinking beers myself. The director gets up on the stage. I have one seat that's empty in the whole thing, and I was saving it for my girlfriend because she might come down at any minute. And he gives this big spiel out, we've been working so hard on this, we put so much effort into it, you guys are gonna fucking dig it. And I need a drink of beer. All of a sudden, I'm texting. I don't know how to fucking text anyway because I'm old, and I couldn't get the text out to my girlfriend to tell her to hurry up. The lights go off, and then the director was like, dude, can I sit next to you? Like, all touching me and shit. And he sits next to me, so I have to, like, put my phone off. I hope my girlfriend doesn't try to come in. And it's a 15-minute film about, I don't know, it's about one girl who has her sister tied to a bed and lets these big muscle-bound dudes just come in and gang rape her all the time, and every time the chick's getting raped, like, I understand you're going to use rape in horror, and it's going to be disturbing, but it's going to have a point, this and that. As it's all happening, it's pretty, like, sick, and all the people in the audience are like, woo, you're so hot, yeah! I'm like, what the fuck did I get into? Like, where am I? Am I about to be gang raped, and is everybody in on this? Like, I was a little terrified. It was creepy. The dude kept touching my knee, like his leg would touch my leg. It was weird. So that was just a whole weird experience. It turns out there's a reason she's getting raped, and they're aliens, and they puke up fetuses or something, which I've heard is a rip. Somebody was telling me later it's a rip-off of an 80s horror movie. I don't know. The special effects in it were okay, but it was not cool, and for everybody to be cheering while this chick's just getting beaten up, and it was a bad experience. And then I went out to try to find the writer of Nailbiter and couldn't fucking find him because of that stupid movie. So, HorrorHound convention was awesome otherwise. I drank a lot of beers, met a lot of cool people. We had a lot of fun. They had an awesome band at the end, the Coney Island Band, and if you get a chance to check one out, do it. I'm a big fan of horror, so write me and tell me what you think, what movies you've seen that I might not have caught, and I hope you all get to check out a scary movie convention like I did. Until next week, Coffee Doug. Thanks.